Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on SoTellUs Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of SoTellUs Time. Man, we're excited to be with you guys today because today we're talking about the happy client. Yes, everybody's dream. Happy clients all around. Nobody's ever upset, right?
Absolutely.
Nobody ever leaves you because you provide the best service ever. Well, if you have that business, you are killing it. Let me invest in that business, and I'll help you just gain more and more customers because we're just going to keep them all, and I love it. Well, unfortunately, that's not always the case. See, people have expectations in life, and what we don't realize, or what a lot of times we don't realize as business owners, that when they get less than they expected, they're unhappy. Well, we understand that part, right? If you get less than you expect, that's pretty easy. You're unhappy. But what we don't realize a lot of the times is when they get exactly what they expected, they're just satisfied. They're not ecstatic.
Yeah.
They're not a super fan. They're just satisfied. And you think, what the heck? And I agree with you. I mean, it's like, dang it. But here's the key. When you provide them more than what they expected, that's when they become a happy customer.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately in business, there is no loyalty. If you don't meet their expectations, then they're gone, which is a no-brainer. If you meet their expectations, well, they're satisfied. But if your competitor can convince them that they're going to exceed their expectations, then they're going to bounce.
Yep.
They're not going to be loyal to you just because you provided exactly what they thought they were going to get in the first place. Because that just makes a satisfied customer, not a super fan.
Yeah.
But when you can provide more than what they expected, that's when you get that happy client. You get that super fan that wants to tell everybody, and they become like, it is much more loyal. Okay, it's not a fix-all, end-all. There, again, that statement of there is no loyalty in business is pretty true, unfortunately. But we can help fix that a bit by exceeding people's expectations. So, Troy, why don't you go ahead and jump in?
Yeah, so we'll just real quick. I mean, you've explained it really, really well. We had an example that we were going to give where, like, if you go to McDonald's and you order a hamburger and they put your hamburger on the tray and they wrap it in the paper and they hand you the tray and that's it. And you go walk and you sit down, sit yourself down at a table and eat. You're going to be satisfied probably because that's what you expected.
Yeah. Like they weren't overly kind. They didn't look you in the eyes, ask how you're doing that day. They didn't really give you much, but it's McDonald's. You don't expect much from them, right?
Exactly. Now, if you were to switch that and you were to compare that to like going to a nice restaurant,
like the Four Seasons.
Yeah. Where you're paying like $34 for a burger.
Right.
Now your expectation has changed.
That's right.
Like you said, you expect them to look you in the eye. You expect them to ask exactly how you want the hamburger cooked.
Correct.
And you expect it to be perfect.
That's right.
Right? If it's not perfect, then you're not going to be happy at all, right?
Right.
But it goes beyond that. Then you're going to expect them to thank you for ordering the burger. And, you're going to have this much higher expectation for that $34 burger than you are for that McDonald's burger.
Right.
And so your satisfaction and how happy you end up is going to depend on them exceeding what you actually expected. Because for the $34, you expect the burger to be awesome, right?
Yeah.
It better be. So
it better exceed your expectations because you can go get a satisfactory burger for $5.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we're talking about today, right? What knowing what that expectation is and then exceeding that expectation with your customers.
Right.
So let's take a look at your business. I want you to start thinking about your business. What do your customers expect from you?
Right.
The minimum. Like, what's the minimum they expect from you?
And the funny thing is when we sit in consulting jobs, this is one of the first questions we ask. And a lot of times they're like, well, and they've either never thought about it or they just assume, well, I've never even asked. And we're like, really? You've never asked your customers what it is that they want? Well, you may be able to improve your business just by asking what they want.
Yeah.
So really, have you stopped and thought about or researched exactly what your customer is expecting?
Yeah. That's the first step.
Yep.
And if you don't know, then get out there and find out what your customer is expecting. And then how do you know, based on what's going on in your business, are you actually doing less than they expect? Are you meeting it, or are you doing more? So we'll talk about that a little bit. So if you're doing less than is expected, here's some signs you're going to see in your business. If you're giving them less than what they expect, you're probably losing customers.
Yeah.
You're noticing that you may be putting a lot of customers in the top, but you're not only you're not growing, you're not even staying the same.
Right.
You're actually losing customers.
And I do want to put a caveat in here. Don't get down on yourself if this is don't beat yourself up about this.
Yeah.
We've all been there. We've all done this. We've had so many businesses over the years, and there's been growing pains, and we had to learn all this too. So don't be prideful. Push that pride aside and say, yeah, you know what? These guys are right. I am experiencing that right now, and I'm not gonna beat myself up over it or stop listening to this podcast because I'm pissed at them for pointing it out. You're just gonna say, I hear you, and now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna implement it and make it better.
Exactly, because we're gonna give you homework, right? We're gonna teach you how to make it better. So, if you're feeling that in your business, if you're noticing a decline in your business, then there's probably a good chance that you're not meeting that expectation for your customers. But if you are meeting the expectation, here's what you're probably seeing in your business. So your business is probably pretty steady, and you might be going, yeah, my business is pretty steady. There's another word for that, and this one you're not going to like, and that word is stagnant. So the same thing as steady is stagnant, right? So if your business really isn't growing, you're just kind of staying the same. You're doing marketing, you're putting those customers in the top, and you're losing about the same number of customers out the bottom, then you're probably meeting their expectation. So you're probably not seeing a lot of growth, and you're probably not seeing a lot of referrals in your business. That's another great indicator. Are your customers referring their friends and family to you?
Yeah, because think of it this way: your customers who are just satisfied, they're just like, yeah, they do a good job. They do what I pay them for. They're not going out there and being like, these guys are amazing. They are giving me exactly what I thought they were going to give me. So everyone should use them. That's not what people do.
No.
They don't go sing your praises.
Absolutely not. So that's a good indicator too. If you're getting a lot of referrals, then you're probably you're exceeding those expectations.
Meeting those expectations.
Yeah, or meeting those expectations. No, sorry. Let me rephrase that. No, you're not meeting those expectations.
Oh, yeah.
You're just keeping it steady, right?
Right.
Because if you're exceeding their expectations, that's when you're going to get a ton of referrals. So, and I just want to put another caveat out there. The solution to this whole problem is not to lower your customers' expectations. That should not be the goal.
Right.
It should not be, hey, I'm going to lower their expectations so low that when I do a mediocre job, they're going to be like, wow, that was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And it's not good to bet on the fact that your competitors do a crappy job. So when they come to you, they're going to be so much happier.
Yes.
I mean, and trust me, I have experienced that. And I will say, I use this example a lot, but my current pest control company, Mojo Pest Control, they are awesome. And I went through 2 or 3 different pest control companies before going with Mojo. And it was like that. It was like the first company I had was just crap, absolute crap. And then the next company, it was like I never knew when they were going to come. They didn't have notifications, reminders, anything like that. When I would call up, the lady that would answer the phone was like this super crotchety old lady that shouldn't be answering phones anymore. And it was just terrible. Then I went to this next company, and it was like they were hit or miss at least. Like they would sometimes show up when they said they were going to and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is so much better. Like they're a little bit better. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And then I went to, but it still wasn't satisfactory.
Yeah.
And then I went to Mojo, and they exceeded my expectations, blew everybody else out of the water. And
Right.
so it was like the second company was a little bit better than the first company, and so I was a little bit happier, but I still was looking. That's the thing.
Right.
I was still looking for the right company, and then I found them.
Exactly. And you made a really good point about that, that if you're just meeting your customers' expectations, you might be losing customers to competitors because they are promising, to exceed your clients or your customers' expectations.
Yeah.
And so they jump. They go, yeah, well, no, that would be awesome. Like what I have now is good, but that sounds way better. So that's what you need to understand. If you're exceeding your customers' expectations, they're going to be like, no, nobody can do it better than these guys.
Yeah.
So that's another indicator is when you get those calls or those emails saying, oh yeah, no, we're canceling service because we're going with somebody else who does this.
Right. And I will put this in there too. If you're exceeding their expectations and they still jump ship because they
Yep.
could because someone else promises more. This is a good indication that you are exceeding people's expectations, because we even have this in our business. People will cancel our service and they're say, oh, well, we're going with this other company and they're going to do this and this and that. And we're going, okay. I mean, if there was more to be done, we'd be doing it. So they're just
Right.
really over promising to you right now, but we will be here if you need us again. And our contracts are all month to month.
Right.
So we know that we tell people if we're as good as we say we are, you'll stick around. Well, the funny thing is you can't keep 100% of people. So we will get people that jump ship. A good indication that you are truly exceeding expectations, though, is when they do come back.
Absolutely.
And I would say about 70% of our customers that do leave because they were promised more or better by someone else, they come back.
Yeah.
And it's awesome for our business, and then it really helps us realize, okay, we are doing a really good job. Like these certain people just got oversold by somebody else. So that's, if you're getting that, then you're probably exceeding their expectations.
Exactly. So the other indicators that you're exceeding their expectations is you're seeing a lot of growth in your business. You're getting repeat customers, meaning they're doing business with you multiple times. Because they are happy, and you're getting a lot of referrals from them. They're referring their friends and family. They're talking about you to other people. That's when you know that you really are doing a great job and you're exceeding everything they expected. And that grows your business.
Yeah.
So that's the key. That's, a lot of times we think like, okay, well, what does my customer want? I just got to make sure I get that done. No. You got to go way beyond what they think is going to be done. And then you're going to have that success. All right.
Exactly.
Anything you want to go over, Trevor, before we hit the homework?
No, that sounds good. Let's jump off. This will be a quick and short one for you guys this week. We want you to be successful, and we want you to get out there and get them happy clients. So let's jump into homework. Take a look at your business to determine if you are not meeting or just meeting your customers' expectations, and then figure out how you can exceed their expectations going forward. So look at that and just say, am I even meeting their expectations in the first place? If I'm not, okay, great. What do I need to do and implement in order to do that? If I am just meeting their expectations, how can I then exceed those expectations? So it's really simple. For some of you, you're just going to be evaluating this week. Am I meeting those expectations? Or am I exceeding those expectations? Or am I not even meeting any expectations?
Yeah.
And this is why I'm having trouble and failing in business, right? So take a look at your business and evaluate it. See what you need to change and then go implement that. A great way to do it is look at some of your competitors, and not always the big ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes the big ones are lazy because they just have a huge marketing budget. So they're always number one, but that doesn't mean that they're doing the best marketing, giving the best service.
Yeah.
They just have the most money. Sometimes it's good to look at some of your smaller competitors and what are they doing, because they may just be like the up and coming.
Yeah.
And they're going to exceed everybody eventually. They just have to get more awareness out there. So look around, check out what your competitors are doing, compare what you're doing to your competitors, and then exceed them.
Yep. Absolutely.
Do more. All right, guys. Hey, great time being with you guys. We will catch you guys on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.